pro boxing fans, we are here in Belfast. Eddie, can we have press conferences like that all the time, mate? Because that was absolutely fantastic.
I mean, look, we are blessed at the moment with tremendous fights, but how often do you get that? Like, you know, and this is a special fight city. Every time we come here with a big fight, you get that. And it felt like Quickframpton, you know, those kind of fights. And it's just a brilliant fight, you know, two undefeated Irishmen, welterweight division, final eliminator for Jerome Boots Ennis. It's got everything, this fight. And I just think style-wise as well, it's such a brilliant fight. You've got Billy, you've got Andy, you've got Limerick, you've got Belfast. It's got a bit of everything.
It's got a character for sure. But on that top table, you were sat next to both men. Where do you rate this fight? Because when I spoke to Andy Lee, he's saying Paddy Donovan, he's going to be a generational talent. Yeah. Crocker saying, listen, this guy's faced nobody.
Yeah, I mean, you got Andy and Billy are the number one fans for each of their men. Do you know what I mean? And for a long time. So Andy Lee's been harping on about Paddy Donovan for years, and so has Billy Nelson. So as far as they're concerned, they win this fight and they win it by stoppage. I do think this fight ends inside 12 rounds. I think Lewis's boxing skills are underrated, and Paddy's punching power is underrated. I mean, you heard that from Andy Lee. I just think it's a pure 50-50 fight and just a brilliant clash of styles.
Obviously, a final eliminator for the IBF. Boots Ennis is there. Do you feel like this is going to put a lot of pressure on both fights, or, as you know, with fights, it's just another fight for them to push on towards that?
It's the fight to change their life forever. You know, I mean, they're on their way to doing that with these kind of nights, but this is the fight that propels them to the next level of stardom. And, you know, not just the Boots Ennis fight, but if Boots unifies in April, there's a very good chance that he vacates the title to move to 54. In that case, the winner of this fight will fight for a vacant title in a winnable fight to become world welterweight champion. That opens the door for the Ryan Garcia fights, the Haney fights, the Teofimo Lopez fights, like walking into massive paydays. So, huge fight for both men.
Do you want to talk about the big breaking news broken by Turki Al-Sheikh overnight? Seeing the pictures, it looked like a late night. What time was it? What time did it get out?
It was like towards midnight. You know, it's been a couple of late nights the last few nights, and obviously the Ring Magazine Awards, just trying to get this fight over the line. His Excellency did a brilliant job. We got everything we wanted and more, so we're absolutely over the moon. And he's very good at, you know, dealing individually with it, like. To put it into perspective, if I want something for Conor Benn, or I'm not happy about something, and I have to go and ask Eubank, you can imagine the response: no, no, no. He will say, "Come on, guys, look, what about do this? Come on, let's get this fight over the line. Come on." And he's got a very good way of convincing people, obviously. And he managed to get both teams happy, and he managed to help secure the biggest fight in British boxing, which it is, you know. And get some people saying, "Oh, it's not. Tell me a bigger fight. Fury's retired. Tell me a bigger fight than Ben Eubank." It's an absolute monster fight, and you will see one of the great build-ups. Because I tell you, these two cannot stand each other, and the plans that His Excellency has for the build-up is going to be amazing.
Obviously, it seems like the Ring is collaborating on this. What are we looking at? We're looking at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Is what the name was.
It's a stadium fight. Look, it's Spurs or Wembley, you know, and we're finalising the dates at the moment. Next couple of days you'll get an official announcement, and be ready for the press conference in the next week or so.
Yeah, interesting times indeed, especially with Tyson Fury announcing his retirement. What do you make of that, Eddie? You've talked about it before. Carl Froch saying the same thing. He's saying, listen, there's a lot more money involved when you pull someone out of retirement. He's saying that maybe Fury's not retiring. How are you seeing this? What noises are you hearing?
You know, I just feel like you can't ever guess what Tyson Fury's thinking or what his plan is, you know, and it's really, you just got no, you just got no, like, you can't choose confidently what he's going to do. Maybe he's had enough. Maybe he's got the ump. Maybe it's a game. You just got to worry about yourself. And, you know, for us, AJ's probably a couple of weeks away from going back into camp. And then, you know, in a couple of weeks, maybe we'll reach out to Frank and Spencer and say, look, we're going to make our next move. Do you want to speak to Tyson and make sure it's 100% a non-starter? And if it is, we fight someone else. So it'll be a shame. But he's got to do what makes him happy. And if that is genuinely what he's going to do, good luck to him.
But was there negotiations going on? Like nothing?
No. Just a conversation. Say, when the time's right, let's have a chat about it. That's it.
In regards to AJ, then, if that's the case, then, and Tyson Fury has retired, and from what we know, he's retired from now at this point onwards. What's next for AJ? I know you've rattled off certain fights, but realistically, the fight that AJ wants to wake him up, and get him in that ring.
I think he's back now mentally. He's ready to start camp. I talked about Fury and I talked about the winner against Dubois and Parker, but AJ's going to fight again, whatever. I saw people put out a list that I said, people just asking me, who else is there? I said, I don't know. Deontay Wilder, Dillian Whyte, Martin Bakole, the winner of Caballero against Zhang. I don't know, we've got to fight someone, but of course, the aim is to fight for the World Heavyweight Championship. So if we can get the winner of Dubois Parker, great. If we can get Tyson Fury, great. If we can't get either of them, we've got to look at who else is out there.
2025, is this going to be the last year we see some of these big guys, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk? Could this be the final year?
Quite possibly. I mean, I would never put a time stamp on it, but AJ he's coming to the back end of his career. Tyson Fury, he may have even retired. Usyk, Katie Taylor, a lot of these big names are the last couple of fights now. So make the most of it while they're here and enjoy it. But boxing's in a tremendous place at the moment. Tremendous.
But then after that, who's your pay-per-view star? Who's that big star that you like?
People always ask me, who is the next AJ? There's never been an AJ before. So there won't necessarily be one after. But, we've got so many great young fighters. And for me, a lot of the fighters now that are coming through from the debut to 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, these are the next generation coming through. We've got to drive their profile hard and turn them into stars.
How long does that take? Because obviously, if Riyadh season are involved, they do want stars, right?
Yeah, but we got to build the stars here. The winner of this fight is going to move on and be a big star in this part of the world. You've got Dalton Smith in a big fight next week. Diego Pacheco, stateside. Like every week, you've got another person trying to make that step up, and you have got that sort of guys and girls that are at the back stages in their career that have been big names in British boxing for a while now, but just like a conveyor belt of talent and a conveyor belt of profile, the next one's come along.
Just a final two from myself, the 5v5, yourselves and Golden Boy, what's the latest with that? When are we expecting news, and is there a projected date or month?
We have a proposed 5v5 Golden Boy, with Queensbury in May, and then we're also planning a 5v5 with Golden Boy, probably stateside, around June time. So many fights that can be made between Golden Boy and Matchroom. Obviously, you've got Shakur against Schofield. You've got Ortiz against Madrimov, and you've got the big February 15th Castro against Barboza. So we're doing a good job of those, and long may it continue.
Have you seen the back and forth between Tank and Crawford? Or what do you make of it?
You know what? I've actually, 2025, I've made a bit of a conscious decision to stop spending so much time on Twitter. And it's probably the best thing I've ever done, because it's like you just... you sit there and you scroll through stuff and it ends up winding you up. You're just reading bullshit all the time and people trying to ply you with algorithms and stuff like that. But someone posted it on Instagram. So, Gervonta's just an angry man, mate. Like, I don't know what's the matter with you. I don't like the whole, this like, oh, look at you lot over there with Turkey Al Sheikh at the Ring magazine. Yeah. It's like, yeah, mate, that's where it's at. That's where you're going to get all the opportunities. Don't fight it. And I don't know why you'd want to fight it. Just understand, like, even with me, like, I want to be the biggest, I want to be the most powerful individual in boxing, but I can't do what Turkey Al Sheikh's doing. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a business. So I'm humble enough to know, I'm working over here. It's benefiting my fighters, it's benefiting the sport, it's benefiting my company. No problem. I'll call you boss if you want. But a lot of these people, they seem to have a chip on their shoulder where they're like, I'm not going over there. I'm not doing it. It's like, why not? Everyone else is, And there seems to be a great feeling at the moment within the sport of actually people working together and trying to make great fights. And anything that makes boxing, you heard Ariel Helwani say the other night, the interest and the excitement around fights right now in boxing versus MMA is on another level in boxing. Better fights getting made, better narrative, more beef, more chat, more engagement. Long may it continue.
Actually, final one before you go. How much have you got left? AJ Fury, if AJ Fury is done, Conor Benn, Eubank's done. You've done everything, man. What's left in Eddie Hearn?
Look, when you've had enough, it's like boxing, and it's like anything that you do in life, whatever job you're in. Once the fire goes, it whimpers out, doesn't it? And it always hangs around for a little bit, but then when it's like, that little puff of smoke, that's when you got to go. At the moment, the fire is fucking raging, and I'm ready to carry on and keep smashing everybody to pieces. Bosh!
And thank you very much, mate. So much.